You know, when you start out in coaching, you spend a lot of time and energy learning the skills and techniques of coaching, right? How to listen to people, how to ask good questions, how to guide people from where they are to where they want to get, overcoming the obstacles, either real or imagined, that keep them from getting there, right?
Right.
And then you get out and you say, oh, I'm a coach, I may even be certified, but what's the biggest problem then? How to find someone to coach. The thing that I wish I had learned years ago might have daunted me, but the thing I wish I had learned years ago was that being a coach is being a self-employed entrepreneur. It's running a business. So there are the skills of coaching that you need to learn, but then there are the skills of running a business. And once you get experience, these become the more important ones, because you may be the greatest, most helpful, insightful, wise coach in the world. But if you don't have anyone to coach, especially if you don't have anyone to coach who's willing to pay you, you're not going to survive in that. So one of the things I'm going to look at today is one technique for finding prospective clients. That's what my focus is on, how to speak to groups that would attract people to become your clients. Okay? So I'm going to do that in two ways. One, I'm going to say, where do you find these people to speak to? And then once you found them, what do you speak about? Okay? Then the other speakers will develop through that. But that's it helps to have a defining statement because I'm going to amplify on that. But that's specifically what I'm going to be looking at. How to find audiences to speak about, to speak to, who are your potential clients, and then what do you speak to once you find them. So some of the reasons for doing that, let's back up for a moment. Why would you even want to do this? It's scary to get up in front of people. A lot of people hate getting up and talking. Coaches, usually not much, but a lot of people don't like getting up and speak. Why would you spend the time and energy to do this? Well, to me, there's no better way to meet people that you may want to work with. People don't want to approach someone as intimate or as personal as a coach without having some interaction with them in the first place. This is a good way to get up in front of people and say, hey, this is who I am, this is my expertise. You know, if you like me, you may want to have a conversation. If you think I could help you, you may want to have a conversation. Now, I'm a big one not only for attracting clients, but also for repelling clients. Because, frankly, the more you get into this, the more you realize there are people you don't want to work with. Right? You really don't. I realized in looking at this, I said, oh, damn, I made a typo in here. You know, I got an email, it was probably, a 500-word email from someone who said, I saw on your website, and while you have a lot of helpful information, I have 110 pages on my website, 110 pages, while you have a lot of it, I found a typo on one page, and then reamed me out for how, and I said, I don't want to work with you. Right? There are people you just don't want to work with. And there are people who wouldn't want to work with you. So why fool them? Let them know right up front. Yeah, this is a person I'd want to work with, or this isn't. So this is a great way of doing this. So to me, what groups do you speak to? Well, first of all, who are your ideal clients or referral sources? That's why a defining statement is so helpful. Who do you work with best? So to me, I define this in a couple of ways. First of all, people who can benefit from the services you provide. Second of all, people who know they can benefit from that. Because I don't want to have to sell you on the need for my services. I want you to know, yeah, I need that. Okay, if you don't know you need it, it's too much work. Okay. The other is people who have money and are willing to spend it working with me. I don't do it for free. You don't build, maybe at the beginning you do some free stuff, but after a while you just say, I'm a professional, which means I get paid, right? So who needs my needs my services, know they need it, can pay for it, and that, I didn't add this, that I would like working with, and that would like working with me. Okay, make sense? So the other possibility is I may speak to groups of referral sources. So people that may not work with me but could refer people to me. Okay. So these are people in related fields or in my own field. So sometimes I don't go to a lot of professional associations that are of my colleagues. I go to professional associations of my clients. Okay. And then the other one is people that I may form kind of an informal alliance with, that we work together and we just say, oh, you really need to work with Brian, or you need to so-and-so, and we kind of have that mutual give and take. Okay, so those are the three groups that I say you speak to. Okay. Now those are individuals, so you've identified them, right? Now then, the question is, you don't speak to individuals, because that's not public speaking, that's a conversation. So the next question is, where are the groups of those people? Where do those people hang out? Okay, so again, it's not just where do I meet individuals. I do that, I have sold my services meeting individuals, but for this, if I'm going to speak to groups, where do I find the groups of these people? Okay? So here's a bunch that I've spoken to and that I've listed, and maybe we can add some more. One is service clubs. Kiwanis, Rotaries, Elks, all those groups, Lions. Okay? They have weekly meetings. They're often desperate to find someone to speak to. That's a 20-minute program, usually with 10 minutes of Q&A. If those are the kinds of people you want to speak to, fine. As a business person, someone who works mainly with corporate clients, I would say there are really only 3 service clubs in town worth me speaking to. If you speak, I hate to say, with a lot of aging issues, they would probably be the ones to go to. I mean, the other ones would be the ones to go to. Service clubs. Chamber of Commerce's. They often have programs. 2 big chambers that are worth looking into is the San Diego Chamber and the Carlsbad Chamber. Okay. Toastmasters. So you can, if you're a member of Toastmasters, you can speak to your group. You can, if you're good enough, you can start speaking to get invitations to speak to other groups. You can speak to conventions. They have all different levels, district, area, district, international. Cheryl has spoken to all the way up to the top. You can speak to those. Okay. They also have a speakers bureau. Well, they will list people who can speak. So if groups want to have a speaker, they'll go and look at your profile. Okay. Extension classes. A number of the colleges and universities in towns have extension classes. They look for people to speak at them. You actually get paid for doing that. They're usually pretty long-term commitments, 6 to 8 weeks. They don't pay a lot, but you can just say, you know, I taught at UCSD Extension, I taught at SDSU Extension. Executive briefings, brown bags are somewhat the same. You can kind of go into a group of these things for a very short thing. You have very focused things. You talk, you get in, you get out. And again, that's usually, it could be a freebie, could be paid, but it really is just making a very incisive, focused presentation. Seminars, again, these can either be self-produced. I rent a room here and I put on a seminar, or a corporation or a company or an association puts on a seminar. It could be hour, 2 hours, half day, 2 days, and they pay you to come in and speak. Professional associations like this ones. There are there are hundreds of meetings here in San Diego, and then there are national conventions and international conventions of them. Corporate meetings, corporations generally have a convention every year. They're looking for both breakout sessions and keynote speakers. Conventions, again, they're looking for a keynote, a couple of keynotes maybe, and a number, tens, 20s, scores of breakout sessions. Teleclasses and webinars, these are great ways. You can put them on for almost no cost at all. If you can attract people to them, you just do a presentation for, it can either be a series of them or just a one-shot thing. It's a great way of, with no cost, you don't have to rent a room. You just get a bridge line and you publicize it and you get people to do it. Other things that I've spoken on a cruise. I got a free cruise and no clients, but what the hell was a cruise to the Caribbean? Corporate retreats, another thing. Okay, so those are the ones that I'm thinking of. Any ones that I've overlooked? Opportunities that you can think of?
Nonprofits?
Nonprofits, they would probably be under associations.
Well, there's a thing called Meetup.
Meetup?
Yeah. It's a website where you can look for free, and if you want to post, it costs you $12 a month. And in San Diego, there are literally hundreds of groups. You know, if you have a Chihuahua or your salsa dancing or wine and cheese thing, and there's like, I think, over 400 meetups in San Diego.
Okay, there are those. The other one is to, a couple ways of finding, where do you find these groups? Well, first of all, you ask each other, when you know, hey, Cheryl, where do you speak? Where have you spoken well? Okay, or, you know, I really want to I work with engineers. Any of you all speak to engineers? You know, can I tell you some engineer groups to speak to? Yes, I can. Okay, so other people. The other thing is the web's a great resource. Put in those. Professional association, and then engineers. Professional association speakers. Professional association, just website. The other thing is in the main library, there is the book. I don't know how dated it is these days, but it's a blue notebook. You go to the main library, you go to the front desk, you know, right in, and there's the reference desk, and behind it you say, I want to list, there's a blue notebook with all of the professional associations and all of the groups that meet here in town. Can I look at it? It's a loose leaf thing. You take it out, you make copies of it, and you find out. Oh, these are these groups.
Finder binder.
A finder binder?
That's what it's called.
Okay, finder binder. Okay. And then, what do you speak about? So what do you speak about? You speak about not your expertise, but how your expertise is going to help people benefit. What are the benefit people are going to get from you? So you don't speak about wellness, for example, or financial thing. Speak about what they can do using your expertise or wisdom or techniques to get what they want. Okay? So your general area may be public speaking, but that's not what you talk about. So I speak about public speaking, but I show, and then who's the people I work with, how to, and what's the benefit they get from it. So if you look at the bottom there, that's my kind of fill in the blanks. I'm a fill in the blank person. I talk about, so what's your general area? Okay, I talk about health and wellness. I talk about the design, okay? I talk about financial benefits, such and such. I show, and then those are the more narrowly you can define that niche, the better. I show these kinds of people, not everybody. I show this kind of people, okay? How to, and then what's the benefit they get. Okay? That's what I speak about. I talk about this. I work with these people. I talk to these people, showing them how to do such and such. Okay? So I think I'm just about wrapped up my time. Let me just go one quick thing. On this group here that I said on the front, there are three different categories generally. There are those who pay. Some pay well and some pay poorly. Okay? So some pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, some pay hundreds of dollars. Okay? There are those that don't pay, i.e. this group. Okay, so does this group. You're not paid. You go out and you speak a lot to these kinds of groups. And then there are groups that kind of make you pay. I avoid them. They're ones that, oh, you want to be, yeah, we'd love to have you present, but you have to pay your way here, and you have to pay to attend our convention. And I say, oh, isn't that interesting? Thank you, but, maybe you can get a newbie who's desperate to speak to you. I mean, that's my thing. No, I don't. Okay, so those would be my ways of looking at that. I think we're going to have time for Q&A at the end to do stuff. I'll stay around. Please correct that one little typo. So again, my hope is that as you're doing this, you use speaking as a chance to grow your business by attracting potential clients, referral sources, or colleagues that might become your help in this process. Thanks a lot.
That's great.